everyone, what is going on? My name is Archer Live, and in today's Payday 2 video, I'm going to be showcasing my Crosskill Guard pistol build, which is viable for death sentence and 1 down. It's been a while since I've actually done a build that actually manages to hold up at those difficulties, but I figured it had been quite a long time and guessed I should hop back into it, try and make something new, make something original that you guys can try out on the highest difficulties and hopefully, as the plan goes, have a good time with it. Now, this is using the Crosskill Guard pistols that came out alongside Duke in the big console update that dropped back in July, so it's relatively new. It's not as new as it could be, but at least it's something from the most recent content update for consoles that maybe you might not have seen much of on YouTube, so we'll just see, and hopefully it brings something new to the table and something beneficial that you guys can enjoy. Either way, you know how it works by now. For those of you who don't, we're going to get into the skills, go through what we've picked up, look at my weapons and my inventory, then we'll get into some gameplay and I'll give my final thoughts on the build and what I think is good and bad about it. So, let's get into it. Start off by looking at the skills we've picked up. So as always, what I'm going to do is talk you guys through every single skill I've picked up and then explain the key points after that. So, in Mastermind we picked up Basic Combat Medic and then aced Painkillers, Combat Doctor and Inspire. In Enforcer we aced Scavenger, Extra Lead and Fully Loaded whilst getting Basic Saw Massacre. In Technician we aced Steady Grip. In Ghost we got Basic Duck and Cover and Basic Parkour, and also got Basic Second Wind, Optical Illusions and Low Blow. Meanwhile in Fugitive we aced Equilibrium, Gun Nut, Akimbo, Desperado, One-Handed Talent, 9 Lives and Swan Song, and then also got Basic Trigger Happy. So to sum up what was key here in this build, I got Inspire as well as ammo skills. I know that's a contesting point for a lot of people. Some people really dislike that I get both medic bags and ammo bags, but the main reason behind it for this build is I like being self-sufficient, as a lot of you know, and with this build, having more ammo and being able to pick it up and reserve yourself really actually suits this build very well. So you have to rely on ammo bags. You can put them down for the people if you need to, or bring medic bags for yourself if you need them, but you don't have to worry about your own ammo because you're basically picking it up at such a rate that it won't matter to you. As long as you get a few ammo pickups every now and again, you're completely sorted, and I really like that. I like the idea of being self-sufficient. I know a lot of you guys are aware of that by now, but it's something I should mention nonetheless because not everyone knows how I make builds. Technician, as always, Steady Grip is a skill I just love to ace on any build if I have the skill points to accommodate it. Low Blow is the only reason I've got a low detection risk for this build, but because the Crosskill Guards are so concealable, I figured it was stupid not to go for something. I would have liked to have gone for Sneaky, but honestly, the amount of points I had just wasn't worth getting the extra 10 dodge. I was happy with just getting the Rogue perk deck, as you'll see in a minute. But I really like the idea of getting crits with these pistols because they are of the low damage, high ammo pool category. So having the crits really complements having Trigger Happy as well. So they actually deal a lot more damage than they should do, at least as you would normally expect them to. And in Fugitive, literally every single pistol skill that you could need for every reason that's there. Apart from Ace Trigger Happy, which I just didn't feel was worth the 8 points, because all it does is increase the damage boost from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. But with those pistols, with the amount of ammo that you have and the amount of times you need to shoot cops, you don't need that 4 seconds. You need the 2 seconds, clear out any cops in your way. And as always, Ace 9 Lives and Swan Song, I don't need to say it by now, I have that on every single build without fail. They just benefit me a great deal. And especially if you're going to run on 1 down with Death Sentence, you need 9 lives. Just helps you get by in all the heists that you decide to do. But that sums up the skills. Let's have a look at our inventory. So, as you might have guessed, we picked up the Akimbo Crosskill Guard pistols, and the following attachments have been equipped once my game decides to load up, because it never loads up quickly. That's just something you get used to. We got Flash Hider, we have a Concealment Boost, a Micro Laser, an Ergonomic Grip, no extending mag, and the Milled Slide. All about concealment whilst also trying to get accuracy and stability as high as possible, but stability is the key for Akimbo weapons because they tend to have a lot weaker stability, but in this case we managed to do quite well. And then for the secondary, you can bring a Crosskill Guard again if you want with the exact same attachment, but I figured it was nice to have the 5.7 AP pistol, just to deal with shields when they're a pain in the backside, or maybe even snipers at long range if need be, just something along those lines. It's nice to have that backup, because the Akimbos very rarely run out of ammo. But for this weapon we brought the tin-treated barrel, the Flash Hider, accuracy boost, micro laser, extended magazine, and no sight, because as you guys know, not a fan of red dot sights or any sights at all on guns. Don't know why in this game, they just don't interest me. But extended mag in this case doesn't affect your concealment, so I figured there was no shame in, or no harm at least, in putting it on the gun, so I felt it was quite beneficial. The ammo pool isn't great on it, but having fully loaded Ace does complement that a tiny bit, and help make it last a little bit longer in gunfights, because the pickup is not great, as I'm sure most of you are aware by now. Melee weapons, we're bringing the electrical brass knuckles, throwable, my throwing knives are my favourites, rogue perk deck, as you know, 2-piece suit. I'm bringing doctor bags, but you can bring ammo because we've got both of them, so you can pick and choose. And then my mask, I just wanted to show off because I'm quite happy I got it in drops, the 1 down skull. And I can say that I actually earned it because the attitude that I had for ages, for those of you who've been around for a while, know that I got the original 1 down skull before the new one came out. I got it in a random car drop during literally a normal bank heist, and I hadn't earned the mask, and my goal for ages was to actually level up and earn that and make sure I did all the heists on death sentence. And I can say I've actually done it again now. Safe House Nightmare was quite literally, as the title suggests, a nightmare, but I've done it, so I'm happy that I can actually use it now and be proud of it. So there you go, my little bragging rights I just thought I'd chuck in there. So don't hate me too much, but I'm quite proud of it and I'm not afraid to show it. So either way, enough bragging from me. That sums up the build. We're going to get into some gameplay now, and I'll talk a little bit more about what I like and dislike about this build. The Crosskill Guard build. It's really nice in this game to make a build that isn't related to a different character or just in any way a meme type build. I really like actually getting in and making a solid build for Payday 2, and because we get so few console updates, it's really hard to find the drive and the motivation to try and come up with something new these days, especially when I've made as many builds as I have in the past. Because even though I've got a certain amount of videos on YouTube, there are far more builds that I've made that just weren't worthy of videos, so it's really nice to just get an opportunity to sit down and have something that works really well, and this is a fine example of that. I adore this build. It's really, really nice for death sentence, and especially at the minute with the Grims being as buggy as they are, as I'm sure most of you are aware of. Hopefully we'll get a fix to that in the next update, but at the moment we just can't use them, so I really like this as a trade-off. The Grims are definitely the best weapon in the game in my opinion, but whilst they're a buggy mess, this is a brilliant secondary. The Crosskill Guards are just like the Grims. They have low damage. When you pop some crits on them, and having trigger happy in the pistol skills, you get some really nasty damage on some cops sometimes, and it works really well. Again, I would have liked to have the extra 10 dodge from the rogue sneaky skill, sorry, but honestly, the amount of skill points that I had, it didn't make it worth it. The points were better used elsewhere to get me higher ammo pickup, and be able to have Inspire, because especially if you're running on death sentence, if you don't have Inspire, you may as well not play. It's just one of those things. Inspire, Swan Song, and 9 lives, I will always say are my top 3 skills this game. Nothing beats them, and pretty much in any build, if possible, you should have those skills, but definitely 9 lives and Swan Song, at least if you're running on death sentence. Inspire, I would say, if you don't have it, you're in a load of trouble, so best to have that in as well. But I know a lot of people will contest, as I said earlier, a lot of people don't like it when I get ammo and medic bags. That has been a sticking point in past builds where I've done the same thing. People have gone, well, if you hadn't got ammo and doctor bags, you could have got that dodge that you so desperately wanted. And it's like, I get that, I'm aware of it, because I make these builds, I do a lot of them, and I get used to that, but again, I'm one of those people who likes to be self-sufficient. I know that it's a co-op game, but I like the idea of being able to go into a heist, get some gameplay on my own, or just play the game on my own casually, because my friends have got tired of the game. It's very difficult to pull them on now unless it's an update, so whenever I go on, it tends to be for myself, unless subs join. So I like having self-sufficient builds so that I can go into death sentence if I want, and I'm not immediately at a disadvantage, because I have a build that can handle it, and I can survive on my own with 2 AI, and hopefully when the next update comes out, 3 AI with some bonuses, but that hasn't appeared yet, so we just got to kind of wait on that front and see how we go on that end. But honestly, I just really like this build. There's not a lot else I can say about it. It flows really well. You've got the crits damage, you've got really nice dodge, really fluid movement speed, and I love the 5.7 AP pistol. I just wish the AP pistol had slightly better ammo pickup. It does grind my gears a little bit that you really can't get very good pickup with that. But honestly, the amount of pickups you're going to be running for to try and at least keep your ammo up as high as you can, and with the movement speed and the dodge you've got, you shouldn't find it too difficult. And if you do, stick with your combos for a bit. You should only really use the 5.7 as a backup, and if you do only use it for shields and or like dozers or snipers, then you shouldn't run out too easily, and you should find you picking up round about the same amount that you're using. So let's hope you actually manage to get that to work, and if not, then just try and strategize a bit more. Practice makes perfect. Get used to the build. Remember that when you equip a build straight away in Payday, it won't always work for you the first heist. Get some practice in. Get used to what the build can offer you and what you can offer the build in return. You've got to strategize correctly with the build you employ. Just because you have a fast movement speed doesn't mean you should be out in the middle of a street for the entire heist. It's just very good from getting to A to B with hopefully not too much damage inflicted on yourself. But anyway, that sums up the build. There isn't a great deal else to talk about. I am a very big fan of this build. It's one of my favorites that I've made in quite a while. But as always, I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below about this build. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? What do you think is good or bad about this build? As always, remember my skills are my own personal preference, so don't disrespect what I've picked. If you do have other suggestions, please word so in a friendly manner. I would very much appreciate that. Most of you guys do that anyway, but it's only the occasional comment that I'd rather just not see. So if you have any suggestions, improvements, anything you like, dislike, feel free, let me know down in the comments. Let's get talking. I do read every single comment, even if I don't heart them. I try to heart all the comments that I can see, but a lot more recently it's got harder because of uni work and stuff to sit down and have to heart everyone and just reply to every single one, so what I tend to do is just read every comment. So just because it hasn't been hearted doesn't mean I haven't seen it. Bear that in mind. So I'll do my best, but just something to consider while you leave a comment. So either way, thank you all very much for watching. As always, it's very much appreciated. If you have enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, both of which are always super duper appreciated. Share the channel around if you're new and you want your friends to get involved with the community, and if you might be interested, let's get on the road to 6k subscribers. I'd like to think we get there by the end of 2018, but probably not likely, so let's try and make it a New Year's little celebration to hit 6k. But until then, guys, enough waffling from me. I will see you next week with a brand new video, and until then, take it easy, and I'll see you soon.